Indiana might be the creepy home to several bizarre cryptids. We've all heard the legends. Hunters combing the woods stumble across an impossibly tall, hair-covered creature that walks briskly away from them before they can get their cameras out. Stories of animals, beings, and spirits that cannot be explained, but will leave you with goosebumps and a feeling like something isn't quite right. There are literally hundreds upon hundreds of tales from nearly everywhere on Earth about unexplained sightings of unusual beings, many of which have eerie similarities despite being oceans apart. But did you know that Indiana is allegedly home to some of its own cryptic critters? Here are just a few. 1. Pukwudgie. The term Pukwudgie, a word which roughly translates to small, wild man of the woods who vanishes in native Wampanoag culture, is a strange, troll-like little man said to be between 2 and 3 feet tall with pallid skin and blonde hair. The writings detailing sightings of these trolls go from the Native American days until fairly recently. They are most commonly sighted by frightened onlookers on the banks of the White River around Mounds State Park. Onlookers should not fear, though. Ancient writings by Wampanoag people describe the demeanor of the Pukwudgie to be a friendly trickster. No doubt that it would be a little spooky to see unexpectedly run across your path. 2. The Crosley Monster. It's a little bit strange that there are reports of Bigfoot-like creatures across many different cultures and locations from varied points throughout history. Indiana is no stranger to its own bizarre ape-like creature. The Crosley Monster is a nightmare most commonly sighted in, you guessed it, Crosley, Indiana. Reports of a gigantic bipedal beast began in the area in 2006, when it chased a group of terrified campers for a brief distance before disappearing into the night. Intriguingly, sightings of a large, hairy, humanoid creature walking on 2 legs were also documented in 1839, 1860, and again in 1937 and 1976. The creature is said to stand about 8 feet tall with long, matted hair covering its body and sharp, yellow teeth. It is unknown what the animal could be, but it's terrified the town of Crosley more than once over the centuries. 3. Mashikunabek. Did you know that Indiana has its very own Loch Ness Monster? It's, allegedly, true. Sightings of a strange monster lurking in the depths of Lake Manitou go as far back as Native American days across the lands near Rochester. They had a tradition that roughly translated to respecting the beast in the Devil's Lake. In 1838, an article was published in the Logansport Telegraph which described a monster in Lake Manitou measuring up at about 60 feet long. It has a long, muscular body with what looks like a cow's head, only much, much larger. The word Manitou translates in Potawatomi as both good spirit and evil spirit, so it's understandable as to why folks might have been a bit leery of it. Sightings and rumors have persisted over the decades and, to this day, some people still swear they saw the bizarre, yellow-splotched monster lurking in the depths. There are many more whisperings of other unexplained, unconfirmed cryptid critters throughout the Hoosier State. Have you ever seen something you just couldn't explain? Tell us your spine-tingling stories in the comments. Loveland Frog. The Loveland Frog, otherwise known as the Loveland Lizard, is said to be a humanoid creature with the face of a frog and is described as standing roughly 4 feet, 1.2 meters tall with green leathery skin. It walks upright and has webbed hands and feet, and was allegedly first spotted in Loveland, Ohio. Encounters. 1955. The first claimed sighting was in May 1955. A businessman is said to have seen 3 or 4 3-foot, 0.91 m tall frog-faced creatures squatting under a bridge near Loveland. They were described as having wrinkles instead of hair on their heads, lopsided chests, and wide mouths without lips, like frogs. One of them is said to have held up a bar device that shed sparks. A strong odor of alfalfa and almonds was reportedly left behind. 1972. For approximately 20 years, there were no further reported sightings of the Loveland Frog. On March 3, 1972, police are said to have seen a 4-foot-tall frog-faced, human-like creature with leathery skin, again near Loveland. It jumped over a rail and into the Little Miami River. 2 weeks later, Officer Mark Matthews saw it again, lying in the road. It got away as Matthews shot at it and apparently missed. The officer's description was falsely reported as follows. The creature was 3 to 4 feet tall, 50 to 75 pounds, leathery skin, possibly wet matted hair on its body that made it look textured, possible tail, a head and face like a frog or lizard, and could leap over the road guardrail. A local farmer is also said to have seen the Loveland frog later that month. 2001 interview. Although the officers in question did not report their encounter, word of it leaked to the news media. However, in a 2001 email interview, Officer Mark Matthews, now retired, explained that the incident was habitually blown out of proportion. He stated that it was and is no monster. It was not leathery or had wet matted fur. It was not 3 to 5 feet tall. It did not stand erect. The animal I saw was obviously some type of lizard that someone had as a pet that either got too large for its aquarium, escaped by accident, or they simply got tired of it. It was less than 3 feet in length, ran across the road and was probably blinded by my headlights. It presented no aggressive action. Matthews attempted to shoot the creature in order to back up the account of his partner's sighting a few nights prior, but the lizard escaped, most likely to die from its injury, or from the night's bitter freezing cold.